Hello, Dungeon fans. It's Friday night. Insert cool intro here. Hello, Dungeon fans. It's Friday night. Tonight we're playing Dungeon Crawl Classics while the cameras fly back and forth. But before we do that, as usual, in Dungeon News. You get Dungeon News, and you get Dungeon News, and you get Dungeon News. School classes start next week, monsters. But save your copper pieces. You don't have to buy any pencils or pencil cases, because this year those are on next week, monsters. I was going to say moi, but Lich shouldn't say moi. You don't have to buy any pencils or pencil cases. Yes, your buddy, Lich. In fact, I'm going to get all your names engraved in the pencil cases this year. Even you. In fact, I'm going to get all your names engraved. I got your back. Remember, monsters, there's no reason for a stupid monster. I hope you know that the adventurers that raid our dungeon every other week, they never made it past second grade. Just keep that in mind. I hope you know that the adventurers that raid our dungeon. I guess that about wraps it up. I'm going to probably just kidding. I know why you're really here. You want to know who the teachers are for the 2018 Dungeon School Classes season. Well, I know why you're really here. I got him. You want to know who the teachers are for the 2018 First up, first level, that zombie, the one with the blue eye, that kind of groups. Yeah, he's going to be first teacher of level 1. Great guy. Poco the Orc and Cham Cham the Goblin, they're going to be co-teachers at level 2. He's going to be a teacher at level 3. Shalobia will be the teacher of the pantry on level 4. You can find her in the big web. King Blop has informed us that Splogtato will be the teacher of the marsh, level 5. I haven't met him, but I've heard good things about him. And then as a public service announcement, the trolls, the ogres, and that giant couple, they've been posting those bulletins around the dungeon talking about how they have the advanced classes. Giant couple, don't believe it. They want to make you their snack. Bulletins around the dungeon talking about sorry guys. The advanced classes. So that's the teacher list for 2018. Let's have a good school year, monsters. And I think that's. Oh wait, one more thing. We're at war with the mind flayers. Good night. Viva the dungeon. School year, monsters. And all right. Hi. Oh wait, one more thing. We're at Dungeon Crawl Classics. Good night. Viva the dungeon. Happy to be back doing it. All right. Hi. I was wondering what was going to happen to these folks. Dungeon Crawl Classics. Let's click over here. Boom. Doom of the Savage Kings. Dungeon Crawl Classic Adventure for level 1 characters. What I love is this is the 17th video in this campaign, and we're just now the next adventure will be level 2. We've been sticking around the level, and I can't wait to do another campaign where I can start with a totally different set of funnel, which is 0 level adventures, and level 1 adventures. But they have adventures that go all the way up, so we're going to see how far these people stay alive, how far we want to go with these characters. Anyway, Doom of the Savage Kings by Harley Stroh. It's great. We might be finishing the adventure tonight. We will see. It all depends on the die rolls and what happens. It's great. As usual, I've kind of got an idea where we want to go with this, but if you want to join in, that's why I have the little logo here that says chat plays. As usual, I would love for any input on however things want to be played out. If you want to suggest what a character does, suggest what a bad guy does, or just participate, please, by all means. It doesn't have to be all me, just here doing stuff. Where do we leave our party? If you're just tuning in, Doom of the Savage Kings appears to be a giant demon dog that can't be killed. When it's killed, it turns into a black mist and flies away to some unknown place. Then it comes back the next night to Savage. When it's killed, it turns into a black mist and flies away. Savage, a village. Then it comes back the next night to our heroes ended up there after wandering the world a little lost from their last adventure. Snope, Megal, and Pix, our heroes ended up there. The friends. And joined now by Morgan, Herbo, and Jarak, level 0 characters. They did have one Actually, we joined them
now by Morgan,
leaving
Turbo, and
in
Jarek, level 0
an ancient
characters.
temple
They did have one
where they were hoping and did find a weapon they think might help them kill the demon hound. They're leaving behind the broken undead corpse, the finally dead undead corpse of their friend Lore, the minstrel, who was in love with Morgan and followed her around and came with them and died at the hands of a ghoul and then turned into a ghoul himself. In love with Morgan and followed her. Let's see the high points of yeah. So they went in this ancient tomb after finding out that the hound they thought they killed wasn't really dead, or at least they don't think it's dead. And Pix, our thief, she was paralyzed. It was I thought she was gonna die. She got paralyzed, but then just they happened to find this all on their own, no help from me. They found this horn that can heal you if you drink it, and heal you from different malaise. All on their own, malaise. So she made it out. So they're coming out right now from different malaise. They're exiting. They're crawling out this little crack between a stream and the burial mound. Crawling out this snake-shaped burial mound that had been caused by like erosion and stuff kind of flowing into the crypt. They're crawling out of that into the later afternoon, fall kind of weather. They can see the breath scrambling out. First it's fall. First it's Morgan, the innkeeper's daughter, the one that they saved from being sacrificed the first night they walked into the village. She scrambles out. She's followed by Jarek, the healer. That's just his occupation. I don't think he actually does any healing. Then Herbo, the merchant, followed by Snope and Meggle and Pix. And they're all scrambling out, covered dirt. Snope has his battle axe that has the name Ultimac inscribed on it in his hands, because he couldn't crawl up there. They had to help him up. He couldn't do it with it on his back, so he's got it in his hands, which coincidentally enough is going to be helpful because as they're catching their breath, they hear, or actually, let's roll and see what happens. As they're catching their breath, they hear, or Snope's armor class. Hold on. Hold the phone, Kevin. Snope's armor class. Hold the phone. Bear with me. Oh yeah, you guys. 13 plus 5 is 19. An arrow, seemingly from nowhere, shoots out and buries itself in Snope's pick a body part, seemingly from nowhere. Shoots out, doing, buries itself in Snope's 1d6 pick a body part, seemingly from nowhere. Red for holy shit. Doing, man, stunk. Buries itself deep in his thigh. No, while I'm walking. Stunk. Buries itself deep. Yeah, in his side. He's not dead. That does a sizable point of damage. But first, the arrow sinks in him. Not dead. And then one flies out of nowhere from the same but nowhere. First, the arrow sinks in him. Meggle. And then one flies out of nowhere. See what she from the same but nowhere. Oh, good. Meggle. It flies in. Meggle is, if you're not familiar, Meggle is our elf. It flies in. Friends with Snope, who has the, which is weird. She brought the hawk familiar into the crypt with her, and really logistically, I think he should have been flying around outside. Because if he'd been flying around outside, what's happening right now probably wouldn't be happening. So that was shame on both me and her. Because if he'd been flying around outside, what's happening right now probably wouldn't be happening. Oh wait, I'm sorry. She is taking a point of damage. It scrapes by her and buries itself in one of another arrow. Oh wait, I'm sorry. She buries itself in the mound. She immediately looks through the eyes of her hawk, who has exited the crypt with her and had just regained itself air. She immediately looks through the eyes of her hawk, and it's seeing four men on horseback that aren't far away. But just a little bit, they're the opposite direction of where they're going to be heading. They've gotten out of the crypt, and we're going to head north to the. But just a little bit, they're the opposite direction, south to the village, and these guys are to the north of them, to where the entrance of the tomb, the more formal entrance of the tomb is. These guys are to the north. Another arrow to where the entrance of the tomb. Another arrow flies out at. These guys are to the north. Another arrow. This is where Pick says, "Hey." Another arrow flies out at. I want to. Well, she doesn't have the initiative. This is where Pick says, "Hey." Yeah. So another arrow flies out of nowhere at Pix. Oh, that was a 5. And so another arrow flies out of nowhere at Pix. Those another arrow flies out of nowhere and lands itself, buries itself in the ground at Pix's feet. And then we have one more arrow. That's coming at Snope, because he's big and bad and scary looking for a dwarf. 11 plus 3 is 14. He does get hit. These guys are doing plus 26 as well. 1 point of damage. 3 is 14. He does get hit. These guys are doing plus 26 as well. It's time to roll initiative. It has begun. It's time to roll initiative. Pop over here. There we go. It has begun. All right. Yeah. So these assholes on the horses, they're going to be rolling first. All right. Yeah. So these assholes on the horses, they're going to be rolling first. All right. Yeah. We're going to do this. These assholes on the horses, they're going to be rolling first. Yeah, there are actually 5 men on horses. The hawk is relaying back to Meggle. 5 men on horses. One is off a little bit to the side. The hawk is relaying back to Meggle, and they're going to be coming charging in. So everybody's turned. They've seen these guys through the trees. The guys in the horses start charging at them. So everybody's turned. They've seen these guys through the trees. We're gonna roll. The guys in the horses start charging at them. So everybody's turned. Okay, 19. The guys on horses are at 19. Okay, 19. The guys on horses are at 19. Snope's rolling a 6. The guys on horses are at 19. Snope's rolling a 6. Then Meggle is rolling a 13. Then 14. Meggle is rolling a 13. Then Pix roll 16, 17. All right. Then Pix roll 16, 17. All right. Then Pix. This initiative is okay. And then the group, Morgan, Herbo, and Jarek, are going to roll. There's 0 levels, and they roll a 4. This initiative is okay. This could go bad. We could wipe everybody. And Jarek are going to roll. 0 levels, and they roll 4 noobs. Okay, this could go bad. We could wipe everybody. We got 5 people charging in. Well, actually, 1 is staying back. We got 5 people charging in. So 4 men on horseback come riding up. 5 people through the trees. Charging in. So 4 they're going to disembark though. Come riding up. Don't you think? Through the trees. I think they would. So they're going to disembark though. Come riding up. Nah, they'd stand. If you got the high ground, right? I think they would. They're going to disembark though. Riding up. Nah, they'd stand. If you got the high ground, right? I think they would. They're going to disembark though. Nah, they'd stand. I wonder how difficult. So you're in the middle of 4. Well, it's kind of clear there on the stream. I wonder how. I don't think they get any kind of bonus. So you're in the middle of
Well, it's kind of clear there on the stream. Anyone watching, what do you think? It's kind of clear there on the stream. Someone comes in to attack you on horseback. What do you think? Would they have some advantage? Someone comes in.
You know, I'm gonna give them a +1 die.
Horseback. What do you think?
They're on higher ground, basically.
Someone comes
Or
in.
I'm gonna give them a
maybe
+1 die. Or just +1
on
period.
higher ground.
We'll give them +1. That works.
Or
Like they need it. All right. So one guy, he looks like he might be the leader. He's got more fur on. He was off to a little bit of the side.
all right.
Like
So
Snope
one guy,
turns around. He's got an arrow
looks like
stuck
he
in
might
him.
be
He
the
looks
leader.
through the
He's got
trees.
more fur on.
Birch.
Off to
A lot of birch trees.
Like
And
Snope turns
around.
He
He
sees
sees
got an arrow stuck in him. He
four
looks through the
guys.
trees. More fur on.
Four guys on horses with their bows out, and then they start charging. And he looks over to the left because he hears something a little to his right.
On horses.
And then there's another guy who's coming charging in.
He looks over to the left because he hears something.
On like he's got big furs on, and you know what? Guy who's coming charging in. They're not going to be able to.
He's got big fur.
They're far enough away.
You know what?
They're not going to be able to. They close the distance, but they're not attacking.
They're not going to be able to. He's got big fur.
They're far enough away.
You know what?
They're not going to be. We're going to give
They
them
close
that.
the distance, but they're not attacking. They're not.
So
They're far enough.
the huntsmen, these hunters, are going first, and they close the distance.
So
But they're not attacking yet. The huntsmen, these hunters, are going first, and we're going to give one guy an attack. The leader dude, he comes in and swings at Snope. He's zeroed in on Snope.
We're gonna give one guy an attack.
The leader dude, he comes in, he rolls a 5. He zeroes in, he comes in while he's riding, he pulls out a long sword and comes chopping at Snope. And Snope throws it aside with his shield, his mirrored shiny shield, chopping at Snope. And then Snope feels a building.
Throws it aside with his shield.
He feels what he felt inside. And inside the temple building, not maybe a half hour ago, he had inside the temple. Well, maybe an hour. He had found in the temple. He had found a cave bear pelt cloak that he thinks caused him to go into a rage against the ghoul that was attacking Pix in this little tunnel they were crawling through. And he felt this building urges and rage come up in him. And well, maybe he doesn't even know. He hasn't even put two and two together that it's the cloak yet. But it's something new and it's exciting, and he feels it building up in him again. The rage, and it's bubbling up, and
But it's something new.
but it's Pix's turn. Pix is gonna say she wants to dive off to the side and try to hide in. I mean, this is late afternoon forest. She's gonna try to hide. There's a lot going on.
Dive off to the side. And
We're gonna give her a roll and see what she does.
I mean, this is late afternoon. Forest. She's gonna try to hide. There's a lot going on. Dive off to the side. And we're gonna give her a roll and see what
She does. Silently. Hide in shadows. Hide in shadows. 3 is 14.
We're gonna give her a roll and see what she does. Late afternoon.
Shadows.
Hide in shadows.
Yeah, we're gonna give it to her. We're gonna give it to her. They're not focused on her. So she's able to step off into the trees, to blend in a little bit of the trees, and she's gonna zero in on somebody, and we'll come back to her. She's not gonna act right now. She's gonna draw her dagger,
And she's gonna zero in on
maybe do
somebody.
something cool and climb a tree.
She's not gonna act right now.
She's gonna jump from a tree.
And she's gonna zero in on
That's
somebody.
Pix. Meggle. Meggle is immediately sending her hawk after. This is all happening, but she sees the 3 other guys come racing down through the trees, and the one's hanging back, knocking.
This is all happening, but she sees
Knocking
the 3
another
other
arrow,
guys come racing down through the trees.
knocking another arrow,
Notching another.
and she sends
But she sees
Ormond, her hawk,
knocking another arrow.
down upon him, raining
And
pure
she sends,
hawk down upon him, and
Ormond,
she's gonna.
her hawk. Knocking another arrow.
Meggle has a history of really screwing up the very first spell she casts. It seems like Meggle has a history, or at least all my spellcasters seem to do that.
The very first spell.
But she is going to attempt something she had picked up from an old party member who passed away. She is going to attempt
something she had
Yes.
picked up from an old
She throws up her arms, and she lowers her head, and she feels as she starts saying the words of power. She throws up her arms, and she lowers her head, and she feels as she starts saying the words of power. So she orders her hawk to go flying at the guy who's back. The three guys that are coming at her and picks and the rest of the crew, she's gonna try to cast something on them. The three guys that are coming
or at them
or around them, the rest of the crew, she's gonna try to cast something on them. The three guys that are coming,
I'm being vague on purpose
around them, the rest of the crew, she's gonna try to
because I don't want to narrate what it is until I'm being vague on purpose. We see how well she rolls.
Okay.
I don't want to narrate what it is until I'm being vague on purpose. We see
9 plus 2 is 11, right?
Yes.
9
2 is 11.
plus
So
2 is 11,
right? See, I told you.
9
Boots.
plus
So
2 is 11.
Oh gosh, Megal hasn't spent much luck.
Boots.
So she's gonna spend
So
a luck. Oh gosh, for sure. Megal hasn't spent much luck. So she's gonna spend a luck. She's pretty lucky actually.
To make it 12. So she lowers her head, and the mercurial effect for this certain spell, to make it the way it casts just for her, she starts the mercurial voice starts erupting out of her mouth. That's not her voice. Just for her. It even startles. Like Morgan looks over, and it scares her. And Snope he gets the heebie-jeebies, even though he's heard it a couple times before. But this demonic voice starts speaking the words of power for the spell, and even though he's heard it a couple times before, she raises her hands. Demonic voice starts speaking the words of power for the spell. Yeah, and she raises her hands, and these colors burst out of her hands. Unfortunately, only one of the writers is possibly affected. Unfortunately, only one of the writers is possibly affected. All right, so this color ray bursts out, slams in the face of one of the writers that's writing through things, and his horse rears up. He goes like this, and he falls off his horse, and he's on the ground. He's going like this. He's blinded. His horse rears up. He goes like this, and he falls off his horse, and he's on the ground. He's going like this. He's blinded. His horse rears up. He goes like this, and he falls off his horse, and he's on the ground. He's going like this. He's blinded. Then the hawk comes flying out from the canopy above, slamming into the guy in the rear. The hawk comes flying out from the canopy above, slamming into the guy in the rear. The hawk comes flying out from the canopy. He comes down, flapping its wings, trying to scrap at the guy. The guy kind of beats him off with his bow, not hurting him, but keeping him from hurting him. Hurting the guy. The guy kind of him being off with his hunter, with his bow. Snope hurting him, but raging, feeling the rage start ripping up through him. Snope hurting him, but raging, feeling the rage start. He goes ripping up through. He's going to he's a dwarf. He's gonna attack the horse. Not to say that all dwarves attack horses, but I mean, he seems about right. He's got this battle axe. He swings it. Not to say that all take this guy's horse out from underneath him. Seems about right. He's got this battle axe. He swings it. Not to say that all take this guy's horse out. I need an appropriate Snope die. He's got this battle axe. He swings it. Come on, man. I need an appropriate. Dice hate me. Yes, Snope misses completely. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the phone. I've got. Yes, Snope misses. He rolls 1d4. Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold the phone. Yeah. I've got. He's still not hitting this guy. He swings at this guy's horse, and the horse is already moving and moves out of the way. He's still not hitting this guy. He swings at this guy's horse, and the horse is already moving and moves out of the way. He's still not hitting this guy. So he's got his axe out, but the spear would make more sense him having his try to crawl out. So he's got his axe out, but the spear would make more sense him having his try to crawl out. So the noobs, Herbo, Morgan, and Jarok. So Morgan cries out. Noobs, Herbo, Morgan, and Jarok. Racco, what are you doing? And Morgan the guy cries out, who's the looks like the boss dude. He looks sharply at her, and the guy, you can see he does some quick calculation, but it looks like he's, made up his mind that his eyes steal up. She obviously knows him, but his eyes grow steely. She sees it too, and she yells and runs at him with her pulling out a cleaver as she does it. She sees it too. She loathes to hit the horse, even though she's a butcher. With her pulling out a cleaver, but she's going for him. She loathes to hit the horse, even though she's a butcher. She crits. But well, what do you know there, buddy? Yeah, critting. Noob. What do you know there? I 0 level. Crits. Yeah. What are they rolling? Critting. Noob. What do you know there? I 0 level. Crits. Yeah. What are they rolling? Critting. Noob. Sorry, I want to make sure I know. 0 level. Crits. Yeah. What are they rolling? It's a little tiny little rule. Alright, we're gonna say 1d4 on the crit table. On the 0 level crit table 1, she rolls a 4. Strike the foe. We're gonna say 1d4 on the crit table. It all works out. On the 0 level, she comes. She rolls a 4. Strike the. She says that he looks, his eyes steal. She's like, she realizes he's probably gonna kill her too. So she rushes at him, pulling out her cleaver, and she just nails his kneecap. Sinks the cleaver into his kneecap. So she rushes at him, pulling out her cleaver. She's gonna inflict plus 1d4 damage with a strike. If the foe suffers a penalty to speed. Okay. Right on. So she's already doing 1d6 with it. Okay. Right on. So she's doing 6 points of damage. 1d6 with it. Okay. She's doing 6 points of damage. He screams out, "Oh!" Because that hurt, dude. He screams out, "Oh!" Because that hurt, dude. The other guys are just about to. Herbo and Jarrett can run up there, but they're attacking him too. They're all three swarming on this guy because they know him. And if Morgan's gonna attack him, they're gonna attack him. They're attacking him too. They're all three swarming on this guy because they know him. And if Morgan's gonna attack him, they're gonna attack him. Yeah, they can't do. They're all three swarming on this guy because they know him. And if Morgan's gonna attack him, no. So Jarek isn't gonna try to kill him. Herbo, I believe, is neutral. He'll try to kill him. No, but Jarek isn't going to do that. He's lawful. So, first up, Herbo is going to attack this guy with his dagger. But Jarek isn't going to do that. And he hits. That's awesome. First up, Herbo is going to attack this guy with his dagger. 2 points of damage. And he slices at his leg, or his leg, or maybe this guy looks like he's going to try to be hit Morgan, and his leg. Herbo slices at him with his knife. This guy looks like he's going to try to be hitting. He hisses, and Jarok comes up and tries to grab his leg and pull him off the horse. He's going to try to get him on the ground, and Jarok comes up and incapacitate him before everybody else kills him. He's going to try to get him on the ground. Let's see if he does that. Let's well, let's roll to see if he hits. If he hits, we'll do a contested roll. See if he does that. Let's see if we can pull him off. He tries scrambling, tries grabbing on. The horse's butt moving now. This guy's trying to get away. He tries scrambling, tries grabbing on. The horse's butt moving now. This guy's trying to get away. Now it's their turn. He tries scrambling, tries grabbing on. The horse's butt moving now. Let's see. This guy's trying to get away. The other guys. Let's see. This guy's trying to get away. The other guys. Okay. The other guys, the three dudes, come racing up. Okay.
I'm sorry, two other guys, because one's on the ground racing up. One's on the ground blind. Two other guys, because one's on the ground. Okay. One's breaking off to attack Megal. Actually, they're both going to attack Megal. She just said some words and shot color out of her, a rainbow out of her hand. I always love the spell color spray, right? It's basically shooting rainbows. A rainbow out of her hand. Yeah, they're both coming for Megal. I always love the spell color spray. Basically shooting rainbows. Giving them a +1. So they get +3. Yeah, they're both coming for Megal. I'm going to roll 2 dice for them. I need appropriately bad guy dice. So they get +3. And here's one. I'm going to roll 2 dice for them. Ooh, one got a 2, and one got a 12. So one of them is, they come riding up on her, kind of circling her, and trying to hit her with their long swords. So one of them they come riding up on her, kind of circling her, and trying to hit her with their long swords. So where's damage? 1d6 +1. Okay. So one bites into her, and trying to hit her with their long swords. Damn, doing 7 points of damage. All right, she is not down. But it's he swipes and slices her right across, like right here. Doesn't slit her throat, but slices her kind of like here across her chest. And she screams out, and the hawk freaks out. But slices her kind of like here across her chest. That's the two guys. The other guy's on the ground. The guy in the back takes aim, and he's gonna attempt to shoot the guy in the back. Takes aim. The hawk, and you got a big old hawk, and with a 5-foot wingspan down trying to get at you. You're gonna take a shot at it. He's gonna take a penalty to a big old hawk and his roll, because I think the hawk is gonna stay there. Come down, try to get him. He's gonna try to hover. Maybe he's flying around a little bit. He gets a minus die roll. The hawk is gonna minus. We're gonna go down to 1. Come down, try to get him. He's gonna try to hover. Maybe he's flying around a little bit. He gets a minus die roll. Hawk is gonna minus. We're gonna go down to 1. Come down, try to get short bow. Never mind. It's a short bow. +3. Let's do it. It's +12. It's a short bow. Never mind. It's a short bow. +3. He's gonna hit this thing. Yeah. He's gonna hit it. He's gonna hit this thing. 3 points of damage. Yeah. He's gonna hit it. The hawk screams. Picks. The hawk screams. She's watching. Picks. All right, she's gonna try to climb up. And then she's gonna dive off a tree. She's gonna try to scramble up a tree, and then jump down onto one of the guys' horses that is attacking Megal. So we're gonna roll climb sheer surfaces. We're gonna give her a DC of 10. She rolls a 15. So we're gonna roll. She's good. And then she's going to attack jumping from the tree. I'm gonna make that a D16. She rolls a 15. So she's good because that's a little more difficult. She's going to attack jumping from the tree unless she's got a jump from freaking tree skill. She doesn't. So 1d16. Unless she's got a jump from freaking tree. That's 18. That's 30. So 1d16. She's got a jump 14. 14. That's 30. No, this is 16. Perfect. All right, come on. She comes jumping down. Let's do it heroically. 12. She needs. All right, come on. She needs a little bit more. Let's do it heroically. Which makes sense because it's on a horse. It might be moving at the time. So she's going to blow some luck. It's on a horse. It might be moving at the time. So she's going to blow some luck. Didn't I? Wait a minute. So she's going to. Oh, I guess I did. Okay. Yep, she's gonna blow. Let's see. So she's going to. Oh, I got 1d4. She's gonna blow 2 points of luck. Let's see. So she's going to. Oh, I got 1d4. To roll 2d4. She's gonna blow 2 points of luck, which gives her the 3 that she needs. So she dives onto this guy, attacking him. She calls it as a backstab. She needs. So she dives onto this guy, attacking him. She calls it as a backstab. Let's say she was trying to dive on this guy's back. She makes it. It's an auto crit.
Let's say she was trying to dive on this guy's back.
Right? So
She makes it.
she crits on
It's an auto crit.
1d12 on table
Let's say
2.
she was trying to dive on this guy's back.
Right? So
She makes it.
she crits
It's an auto crit.
1d12 on is over here.
Trying to dive on this guy's back.
So
She makes it.
crits
Auto crit.
1d12 on is over here. 1d12? Yeah.
An 11.
On 1d12.
11. Strike severs larynx. Foe is reduced to making wet fish
11.
noises. Ooh, no extra damage though. So she actually jumps on this guy's back and slices his throat. Ooh, no extra damage though.
1d10.
So she actually jumps on this guy's back and slices his throat.
4 points of damage.
Ooh, no extra
1d10.
damage.
Any
So she
pluses
actually
there? Plus
jumps on this
damage?
guy's back and slices his throat.
4 points of damage. Yeah. Plus any pluses there?
All right. She slices this guy's throat, and he's but he's still riding around. She's on his back. All right. She slices this guy's throat. And
Megal
he's still riding around. She's on his back. All right.
switches quickly
Megal
to
still riding around. She's on his back.
to a different spell.
Switches quickly.
She looks at the other guy, the one that so she watches Pix jump on the one guy and she turns and sees her doing that. She turns back to the other guy who's raising up his longsword, and she raises her hand up and sees her doing that. She turns back to the other guy who's raising up his longsword, and she raises her hand up and okay. She starts speaking these words of power. When she does that, suddenly, to the guy's dismay, his eyes widen as all these little
She does that. Suddenly,
imps
to the guy's dismay,
come boiling and popping out of her skin, rolling and rolling and moving and like extending through her. And she goes like this. They kind of extend and there's this noise all kind of as they gibber
and she goes like this
around her, and she speaks these words and
as they gibber,
and she rolled a 14
around her,
and she speaks these words and 14. A single target must make a will save. Okay, well, no duh. It's got to be a 14. Wait, no, she rolled a 13 plus 3 is 16. No duh. It's got to be a 14. Wait, no, she rolled a 13 plus 3 is 16. He is so creeped out by the gibbering ally, these little imp monsters, that he jerks back on his horse, and he's too afraid and disgusted and abhorred in order to fall under sway of the charm spell she's trying to cast on him.
He's too afraid and disgusted and abhorred.
The hawk, wounded, mad, flies up and around and attacks the lone archer back there.
Wounded, mad,
18.
flies up and around and attacks the lone archer.
Wounded, 1d3.
Mad, 18. Flies up and around and attacks the lone archer. Wounded,
1d3.
mad, 18.
Scrapes him across his cheeks. Snow, screaming in rage, attacks the boss dude
Snow,
with everything he's
screaming
got.
rage.
He's attacking him. He's not worried about his horse.
Boss dude. Snow,
With everything he's
screaming.
got. 14.
Rage.
18.
He's attacking him.
And he hits for sure.
Boss dude. Snow, with everything he's got.
1d10.
Rage.
So,
He's attacking him.
in screaming,
For sure.
he kind of leaps and plunges his battle axe into the chest of this leader dude. As he's turning, trying to get away, and
battle axe
and Snoke
into the
jumps,
chest of the
buries him in, pulls, and then Snoke lets himself fall, and as he's falling, he pulls him off of his horse,
buries him in,
lands in the ground.
Snoke
The guy in the back who's fighting the hawk notices that this falls and turns quickly and begins riding away. The other guy who
fighting the hawk
notices that this falls and turns quickly and begins riding away.
The other guy
who resisted the charm spell sees this as well and goes running. The guy who has picks on his back, gurgling blood, he tries feebly to
the guy who has picks on his back, gurgling.
when you do that, or you just start
tries
riding.
feebly
to, I think he's just going to start writing, and Pix needs to jump off and not get hurt. I think he's just going to start writing. And 17 needs to jump Pix off. Jumps off, kind of soft rolls on the forest floor as the other guy goes riding off, jumps off, barely alive. Kind of soft rolls. They go racing through the forest floor as the other guy Morgan riding off, jumps off. This is Iraqo. This is the Jarl's hunt master. What is he doing out here? Why did he attack us? This is Iraqo. And Snoke just looks at Jarl's hunt master. He goes, I don't think the Jarl is a friend of ours. This is Iraqo. And Snoke goes, but have you killed? Have me killed? Us killed? And then something switches for her because she was put up for execution. Well, not execution, but to be sacrificed just a night ago. So the idea that the Jarl could do this actually seems a lot more believable now. So Herbo, Herbo speaks up. This is beyond Herbo xenophobia. Herbo speaks up. The Jarl means us all to be dead. Did you see how he looked at you? He would kill you too. If the things hadn't gone this way. Well, they're riding back to camp. He would kill you too. Try to tell them what's going on. We should head back now. Well, they're riding back to camp. That was Snoke. So they're gonna head back. In the direction that the riders took off. That was Snoke. Which is back towards the village. Knowing full well that these guys are going back to probably to report what had happened. Which is back towards the village. Knowing full well that these guys are going back to probably to report what had happened. So Snoke, Megal, and the crew gather up their things, make sure they have weapons ready, and start making the trek back to the village. The hope, this whole endeavor was in the hope that they could find this weapon and then somehow either track down the demon hound before nightfall, or at worst case meet it before it got to the village before nightfall. And the being attacked as they exited the temple or the burial mound, being attacked as they exited that slowed them down, and getting back, and it's almost nightfall when they get back to the gates of the city. And they get back. The other guys were riding pretty hard, and so they get back. They're met at the village by the Jarl and his men. So they get back once again in the village square because the Jarl seems to enjoy the audience. They walk in. Snoke walks in. At this point, he's changed out. He's got the spear, and they can't help themselves. There's other people gathered. The Jarl looks all puffed up. Everyone can't help staring at the spear. It's obviously old. Obviously, and they all know where they came from. So there's already whispers going off here. The Ulfhingnor's spear. That was his tomb. They robbed. And robs is a strong word, but that's exactly what happened. That was his tomb. That's exactly how the Jarl should take this. And so the Jarl, seeing the thing and hearing the murmuring, that's exactly how the Jarl he squints his eyes. He goes, "Now you rob our ancestors' tombs. You come to our village. He squints his eyes. He goes, you lie about killing the hound. You lie. You feed on our despair, and now you rob our ancestors' tombs. You grave robbers, liars and grave robbers. And now you rob his men. Seem to hear on they're not they're warriors. They're not afraid of Snoke or Megal or anything, but they don't look like they're completely under his thrall. The Jarl, but they don't look like they're. But what he's saying does kind of have a certain ring to them. They don't look like they're. But have a certain. What he's saying does sounds have a certain ring to them. About right. Anyway, so he. What he's saying does sounds About right.
Snope. Anyway, so
Plants himself. He spreads his legs, puts his spear down. He says to the crowd. Plants himself. Spreads his legs, puts his spear down. He says to the crowd. Yes, yes, we entered your ancestor's tomb. We believe that this spear was once used to kill this hound, and it will kill the hound again. But I thought you already killed the hound, the Jarl says. And it will kill the hound again. Isn't that what you told us this morning, that you already killed the hound? The Jarl says. We believe we killed the hound, but we also believe that it is ancient magic. Terrible magic that we've seen before. We killed the hound, and Meggle also believe that it is ancient. Looks very foreign and exotic and elven, and we've seen before. If anybody knows magic, these people do. If I were a grave robber, if we were grave robbers, we'd be gone with this treasure. But we're not. We're back. And the more time we spend here, the less time we have to hunt this dog down. But I thought you killed him. Well, we're not. The Jarl not wanting to let it go. And the more time we spend here, we thought we did to hunt this dog down. But I thought you. But your people have helped us to understand that maybe we didn't, and we need to make sure we put it down for good. But your people have helped us to understand that maybe we didn't, and we need to make sure we put it down. The Jarl says, "No, you're going to be put in jail. We're gonna put you in a cell. You're grave robbers and you're liars, men." And as he says that, Snope says, "Put you in a cell. You tried to have us killed, liars, men." And he says that, Snope says, "Put you in a cell." And then that's Morgan actually. Snope doesn't say it. Morgan is. You sent what's his name again? It's a weird name. Then that's Morgan actually. Araco. You sent Araco to kill us, to kill your own people. She says. Araco says. You sent Araco. I was only meaning to scare them. They were only meant to scare these newcomers, these grave robbers away. It can't be helped that you are helping them rob our ancestors. Grave robbers. He says, "You tried. They came at us trying to kill us. We had to kill Iraq, rob our ancestors." The master, his best hunter, fell prey to these people. And that's when Herbo and Jarek speak up. She's not lying. They tried to kill us. We tried to stop him. And that's when Herbo and Jarek speak up. But it was too late. She's not lying. And they kind of shift quickly. They tried to kill us. We tried to stop Snope. And that's when Herbo and Jarek. The Jarl. But it was too late. He already knew this, but he didn't know that Snope was the one that killed him. So he looks at Snope even more warily than he had before. And so do the warriors. But there's a little bit of admiration in their eyes, I think. Even more aware. They're not. They'll do what the Jarl tells them to do, but there isn't any disrespect there. They're not. These are all people that have been harried by this demon for weeks, maybe months. Harried. Any bit of hope, any bit of help. They recognize that this guy, Snope, the dwarf, is a warrior. That these people have seen some shit. So the Jarl taking it back a little bit, and a lot of people are whispering, and so the Jarl taking it back a little bit. It looks like he's about to he's made up his mind. He's going to say something, whispering, and that's when there's screams, bloody, terrible screams that are a bit farther off. Maybe to the northeast, and that's when everybody realizes that the sun is set. People start scattering as fast as they can. The Jarl looks really frightened, jumps up on a horse. People start scattering. Snope and Meggle and Hicks and everyone look towards the sound. And Snope says, "I'd like to discuss this further, but we have a demon to kill," and they start taking off. To the northeast. I'd like to discuss this further, but part of the city, a demon to kill. Running through the streets, they start taking off. They come to a scene that, if they hadn't been through some shit, would have really broke them, because there's a home. The door looks like it just clawed open. It's just like a gaping hole, and there's bodies strewn
all about, blood everywhere, body parts, and at first they just trying to digest what happened. These people were just torn apart. They weren't even eaten or nothing. This house was torn apart. They were torn apart. And Meggle goes, look! And they looked on the street, and they see the hound bounding away. And Snope, who still had a tiny part of him that hoped that they had indeed killed this thing, had to say bye-bye to that. Tiny part of him, he says under his breath, we've got it. And he adjusts his grip on the spear, and they go running after it. We've got it, but they can't catch it. They try. As it's going through the town, it bursts into one more house, and as they come up the house, it bursts out of the window. It's got one person in its mouth, and it just tears it, splits them off, splits them in half. It bounds onto another roof, and then bounds over the wall of the town to the east. The party runs around some houses to get to an exit and heads out, and they see Meggle sees it bound off a little bit further off toward heading east. Meggle sees it's dark. We shouldn't follow it. It's the middle of the night. Now they've been chasing this thing around town. Seemed like forever. It was satiated. It ran off. They don't want to go into the woods in the dark. So they head back to the house where all the people were slain. And both houses help people pick up, close up the thing. They help the town out, which goes a long way. At first, people were kind of a little bit scared, but the fact that the people that came out to help too. Actually, that's the thing. That's it. At first, people were kind of a little bit scared. Snope, Meggle, Pix, and the crew. They go back to, since they watched the thing run away, they go back to the house and they start picking up in the crew. And other people look out the windows and notice this, and a few brave ones come out and to help as well. And then morning breaks. Exhausted, Snope, Meggle, and Pix and the crew go back to the inn where Morgan's father. They don't see the Jarl at all. They didn't see the Jarl. We'll say that the guards were. There were some guards that were running with them. They didn't see the Jarl to try to take out the Jarl. Didn't come with them. The guards took off after everyone saw the hound running off. The guards took off back to their Jarl's place, the palace, or not really a palace, but a hound running off. Sure, it's a palace. The guards took off. They all make it back to the inn and crash. Not really a palace, but hours later in the afternoon, they wake up. They all make it back to the inn and crash. Not really a palace, but they know they got to do something. They've got to find this thing. The only thing that lies to the east are the Fens. It would make sense that this thing comes from there. They've got to find this thing. Its lair can't be too far away. They're gonna have to go to the Fens to find it. So its lair can't be. Everybody rest up a little bit. They're gonna have to go to find it. So everybody rest up a little bit. We'll just we'll rest them up. I hit die each. Everybody rest up a little bit. We'll just We'll rest them up. I hit die each. Everybody rest up a little bit. We'll just all right. So they come down, not completely, absolutely 100%, but feeling better. So they come down, got themselves some gear, got some rope and iron spikes and grappling hook. So they come down, got themselves some gear, shovel, got some rope and iron spikes and grappling hook. They go out into the square, and this time there's no Jarl waiting for them. And that priest is still there, the evil fiery-eyed one. This time there's no Jarl waiting, but he's strangely quiet too, just kind of staring at him as they all walk by.
one of the peasants that helped them kind of waves to them, and just talking to another friend. I see a lot more smiles as they're walking out of town. What they did last night helped go a long way in making people feel like these people might actually be here to help them. What they continue out of the village into the high marshy moors that give away to a strange sunken village. A couple hours later, tangles of brown briars and withered oaks take the place of the marsh grasses and tall pines. Foul black mud sucks at your boots with every step. The formerly chill air is warmer here, like the breath of a giant beast exhaling a rot upon the land. There's like the breath of a giant beast exhaling. It's day, but it's a really dreary day, like every day here it seems. It's day, but it's a really the trees look like they're moving in the wind, but they look like at any point they're gonna break. All the leaves are gone. These are lots of dead trees in this place. They look like at any point they're gonna break. Nasty sucking sounds everywhere they walk. We are tracking the beast. Nasty sucking sounds. We're gonna do rolls. The first hour. The beast. Do they have a lead? Let's see. Who's our best? Who's gonna attempt to track this? We're gonna do intelligence. Who's our best? Who's gonna attempt to track this? We're gonna do intelligence. No. Pix is not very smart. Who's our smartest? Who's our smarty pants? Oh, Herbo, he's a merchant, but he is he's really good at tracking down a good deal. He's a merchant, but he grew up on a farm. He knows how to track. He's really good at tracking down a good deal. He's a merchant. Done it before. He grew up and people are gonna help him. He knows how to track. Who's gonna help? Done it before. Nobody else has an intelligence modifier. Huh. Okay, just him. Okay, so get this. Our man here. Hold on. Okay, I gotta flip back over. Our man here. Okay, Serbo, the merchant, crits. Our man here. So he's like, he goes in his Fens. He's looking around. He's seeing the way the landscape is, the ins and outs of the grounds. And obviously, there's no footprints or something, but there's withered and dead, even more dead than usual. That's why it kind of blends in. But he sees that this is like necromantic dead, almost like a path. And once he sees that and these leaves and the things, he can completely see the path that the hound takes through the Fens. So within the hour, they kind of find themselves following Herbo's lead. So within the hour, they reach the heart of the foul Fens. Any hint of the sun is lost in the boundless gray mists, and a heavy oppression hangs in the air with the stench of burbling sulfur springs. All the swamp seems drained to this point, an ominous sinkhole obscured by billowing clouds of black miasma. Surely this foul place is the lair of the beast, terrorizing Hera. It's about the sinkhole's about 20 feet across. It seems to go in, it's about the sinkhole's about 20 feet across. There's definitely a big enough hole that something's dark or something down there. It's a cave of some sort. So there's definitely a big enough hole. They band their rope together and rappel down into the pit. Doesn't take them too long. Don't even have to roll. They brought enough rope and iron spikes and stuff. Doesn't crawl down there. And when they get to the floor, they brought enough rope and when they go into the hole, they spy the floor of a cave through the thick, noxious clouds. The slick, rocky floor slopes toward an inky black pool in the center of the cavern. So they find themselves lower down in the big cavern. In the middle of it is an inky black pool. The shore surrounding the pool is littered with shattered bones, bits of rusted metal, and broken weapons. Cascading swamp water courses down on you from above, while the hot, stinking fumes rise from below.
Cascading swamp water courses down so above, while the hot, stinking fumes water from the sinkhole runs down and feeds this pool. So, and around is all the water pieces of weapon broken, and runs down and Mego looks at Snow. She says that there's great magic here, old magic, she says, at the pool. And she says, notice how black it is. There's great magic. Snope nods, remembering that the beast, when they first killed it, the first night they met, it turned into this inky black mist and kind of disappeared and kind of flowed away. It turned into this inky black mist and kind of disappeared. So this certainly feels like the source, but it's still daytime. So this certainly feels like the source, but it's still daytime. So certainly feels like they start looking around and the source, but it's still daytime. So certainly feels like they might as well look around the pit, right? Especially Pix, our rogue, and they start looking around. They're gonna have to wait. They got a couple hours before it's dark. So they find themselves. They start looking around. They're gonna have to wait. They got a couple hours before it's dark. So they find themselves. They start looking around. 81 bits of gold and silver jewelry. Wow. So they find themselves. She's just picking them up out of the mud. Little bits. Worth 1 to 5 gold piece each. She's just picking them up. 81 out of the mud. Little bits. So I had to roll 1d 100 bits of gold and silver jewelry. That's a lot. She's got a big bag of it. Herbo's helping her. 1d 100 bits of gold and silver. So we'll have to keep track of that. What that is. She's got a big bag of it. 81 Herbo's helping 1 to 5 gold pieces each. So we'll have to keep track. It's quite the pull. They find this small blade kind of stuck in underneath a rock. It's just a It's a very nicely made dagger that Pix is going to keep. It's a very nicely made dagger that it's shaped like a serpent. It's a serpentine ceremonial blade inlaid with silver. It's shaped like a serpent. It's a serpentine ceremonial blade. Does 1d5 damage. That's cool. It's shaped like a serpent. It's a serpentine ceremonial blade. Does 1d5 damage. And then she's looking up against the wall. She can't believe it looks like a head of something. Maybe it's a statue head. And then she gets closer. She sees that's a helm against the wall, shaped in the shape of a dragon. Head of something. She calls Snope over. And she gets closer. And he looks at it. She sees that's he's trying to decide if he's the kind of person or kind of dwarf that wears the helm of a savage warlord. And he looks at it. He's kind of thinking, yes, especially with his cave bear cloak. Wears the helm of a savage warlord. He takes it and he puts it on, and you know what? It fits. If it fits, it sits. He takes it and he puts it on, and you know what? It fits. Helm. If it's a helm, add any. He takes it and he puts it on. The helm imposes a -1 penalty on morale checks. He turns around, and Jarek almost shits his pants. Oh God! And that's when Snow decides he's going to keep it. Jarek almost shits his pants. Oh God! And take note of that. That's when Snow decides he's going to keep it. Jarek almost shits his pants. Oh God! And take note of that. So he's got this big dragon helm, cave bear cloak. This adventure has done really well for Snow, as long as he doesn't die here. So he's got this big dragon helm, Mego bear cloak. Sits down. This adventure has done really well for Snow, as long as he doesn't die here. Crisscross applesauce style. Mego. And decides she's going to contemplate this pool, because this is the single, other than the Chaos Lords and the Scions of Law and all the crazy extra world stuff that she experienced, this is the first real world law and all the crazy extra big source of magic that this is the first real big source of magic she's ever been able to sit down and contemplate. So she's gonna sit, and she decides she's gonna try to take it in, and she's gonna be rolling. So she's gonna sit, and she decides she's gonna try to take it in. She just sits staring at it after everybody else is picking around stuff. She's just sitting staring at this thing for about an hour. She just sits staring at it after everybody else is picking around stuff. She's just sitting staring at this thing for about
about an hour.
Okay.
Staring at it after everybody else is picking around. So all right. We need to roll 1d5. She did not make it. All right. We need to roll.
Suddenly, Megal lets out this kind of like grunt cry. She gets up. She goes running at the pit. Lets out this kind of like in a crazy. Her eyes look crazy. The hawk cries out. She goes running at the pit. That was my best hawk. In a crazy. Her eyes look crazy.
Somebody's gotta catch her.
The hawk cries out. Running at the pit. That was my best hawk. Yeah.
Somebody's gotta catch her.
Cries out. Running at the pit.
All right. Let's see who's fast enough. Pix is gonna attempt to grab her. All right. Let's see who's fast misses. Enough. Pix is gonna.
I'm gonna give
grab her. All right. Let's see.
One other person an attempt.
All right.
I'm gonna give.
They grab. Go to grab, and she slides through their hands,
And she walks into the pool.
They grab. Go to grab, and she slides through their hands,
and she
walks
into the pool. It's searing hot.
I
guess we didn't mention this, but they as they got closer to the pool, they could feel the heat coming off it. It's searing hot, and she needs to roll a fort save. But she starts walking in there. Closer to the pool, they could feel the heat coming off it. It's searing hot, and she needs to roll a fort save. She's walking in, but she doesn't seem to be taking any, or not that she doesn't take any damage. She doesn't seem to be hurt by it as much yet.
She's walking in,
but she doesn't seem to be taking any, or not.
Snope, Pix look at each other.
Hurt by it.
Herbo and Morgan and Jarek come running over. And
Snope,
Pix look at each other.
Hurt by it.
Herbo and Morgan and Jarek. All right, Pix is gonna go in and grab her and drag her back out. When Pix enters into the water, all right, Pix is gonna go in and grab her. Her boots are and drag her back out. When Pix are sturdy, she doesn't feel. She wades in enough. Doesn't really hurt. Grabs Megal, and we need a strength off. She doesn't feel. She wades in enough. Megal rolls for strength. Grabs Megal, and strength off. That die decided it didn't want to be rolled. 12. 9. Come on. Pix struggles with her. 12. Trying to pull her out. Megal is gonna come. Megal rolls another fort save. She misses. Trying to pull her out and takes 2 points of damage. Megal is gonna come. Megal rolls another fort save. She misses. That is enough for her to kind of like and come running out of the pool. Meanwhile, Pix tries to come running out, and that is enough for her to kind of like and come running out of. She runs out. She's fine. She doesn't take any more. She doesn't take any damage. So Megal comes out and she's like, "It's too much for me. It's too powerful." Snope's like, "It's okay. It's all right. Sit down. Rest." Comes out and she's like, so it's too much. Everybody chills out. That was a little sobering, and they sit down. And as soon as they wait a little while, and as soon as it starts getting just a little bit dark, they all get ready. And we're gonna figure out a plan here of attack. We know we need to. The reason we have the spear is because you need to hold it to the ground. That's what the old lady told them. You need to hold this thing to the ground and most likely kill it while it's held to the ground. And you're going to use the spear to do it. You need to hold this thing to the ground and most likely kill it. The spear is +1 to use the spear to hit damage. So we got. So Snopes, not only does he have this cave bear thing, he's got this spear too. Damage. So we got. So Snopes, not only does he have this cave bear thing, he's got this spear too. Let's see. So Snopes, not only does he have this cave bear thing, he's got this spear. Okay. On a successful hit, the welder of the spear can use the crossbar. This is cool. Can use the crossbars mounted below the spearhead to pin a creature. So the spear's long. It's got these crosshairs right below the blade, mounted below the spearhead, that you use to pin a creature, reducing the target's AC by the welder's strength bonus. This ain't gonna be Snope. That's right. This isn't Snope. That's why he didn't have the spear on him when he came out of the cave. This ain't gonna be Snope. That's right. Pix. This isn't Snope. That's why gonna be Pix. She's stronger than everybody. Laura, the minstrel, was actually the strongest one of the whole group. She's stronger than. So, Laura, the minstrel, was
Yeah.
actually the strongest one of the whole group. She's stronger than.
So,
That's another thing I gotta watch. I gotta stop bumping this table because it drives me crazy watching when I'm watching the video and I'm seeing the dice camera wiggle.
bumping this
If it's annoying me, it's gotta annoy you too.
when I'm watching the video
So,
and I'm seeing
yes,
the dice camera
Pix
bumping this
if it's annoying me, is gonna hide in the shadows.
So, yes,
She doesn't even have to roll. She's gonna hide in the shadows and be ready to strike.
So, yes,
She doesn't even have to roll.
oh yeah, she'll be round back.
She's gonna hide in the shadows.
It must come out of the pit or the pool and then go up and out.
So she's gonna hide around behind it. She's gonna wait there quietly.
It must come
Everyone
out
else is
of
gonna
the
stand in
pit or the
front,
pool and then
kind
go
of
up
fanned
and
out,
out.
to kind of corral it and keep it there while she comes in from the back.
Everyone else is gonna stand in front, kind of fanned out.
Megal
To kind of corral
doesn't
it,
seem
keep
to
it there
think
while she
that
comes in from the back.
any of our other spells are really gonna help her. Charm person ain't gonna help. Color spray
Doesn't seem to
Color spray, she didn't forget it.
Any of
So
our other spells
she could try it again.
Charm person ain't gonna help. Color spray.
She's thinking she's gonna try it.
color spray. She didn't forget it.
Um,
Any of our other spells.
She takes out her longbow just in case though, and heads a
She's
little
thinking
bit
she's gonna
back.
try it. Color spray. She didn't
Um,
forget it.
She's off to the
Takes
side
out
a
her
little bit.
longbow just in case though.
Snope in the middle,
Heads a little bit back.
wanting to be the first thing this thing sees.
She's off to the
Everybody
side
else is
of the
around
longbow
him.
just in case though.
Snope in the middle. They wait like that
Wanting to
for
be
maybe another
the,
hour while it gets
First
dark,
thing this thing sees.
and then
she's off to
suddenly
everybody else is around.
it's almost like the
Snope in the middle.
they wait
like
the
wanting
air
to be
around
another hour while it
air
gets
right
dark.
above the pool
And then
starts
suddenly everybody else is around. It's
coalescing
almost like
into a shape
the,
and then draws the
the
water
air
up
around
into it.
the
Like
air
makes
right
a
above
the
the
air like
pool
makes a shape
starts
and the
coalescing
water
into a
drains up
shape
inside of
and
it, filling it
draws
out
the
into this,
water up
this
into it.
demon beast.
Like air
It's
right
like a
above the
hound
pool
with
makes a shape
with
and the,
fins and
water
fur
drains
and
up
scales
inside
in
of it,
different
filling
parts,
it out
with
with water up
big
into it.
alligator type
Makes a
jaws,
hound with a shape
blazing
with
eyes,
fins and fur
and
scales and
it's actually
different
quite
parts.
impressive.
Big
Alligator type jaws and big,
blazing
bigger
eyes,
as high as
and
its shoulders as high as
It's actually quite
Snope
impressive.
is.
Big
As tall as Snope. It comes bounding out of the pit and it sees them.
high as shoulders
And
as high
it's
as
party
Snope
time.
Snope is.
As tall as Snope. It comes bounding out of the pit and it sees them.
High as shoulders
And
as high
it's
as
party
Snope
time.
is. As tall as Snope. It comes bounding out of the
All right.
pit and it sees them.
Let's
And it's party time.
let's roll initiative. The hound gets an initiative 7. Let's roll initiative. The hound gets an initiative 7. All right, Snope.
The hound gets
Okay.
initiative 7. Right.
Metal.
Snope.
Okay. Picks. Metal.
Snope.
Okay. Noobs. Picks. It comes bounding out and then stops when it sees him. And it's looking around. It sees everybody. It's moving up. And really, it's just trying to decide which one of them is going to rip up first.
It sees everybody.
And
It's moving up.
that's when
Really, it's
Pick
just
strikes.
trying to decide which one of them
Right?
is going to rip up first.
She's going to strike.
And it's moving up.
She comes
That's
moving.
when really
Pick
it's just
strikes.
trying to decide which one of them
Right?
is going to rip up first.
She's going to strike.
And
She's going to sneak silently.
moving. Really, pick strike. Right?
Jeez.
Rip up first.
It's,
She's gonna strike. And
She's going to sneak silently.
moving.
12. Sneak silently is plus 5. 17. That's a pretty heroic sneak.
She's gonna sneak
So
silently.
she comes sneaking out silently.
Sneak silently is plus
And
17. That's
yeah.
a pretty heroic sneak.
We're gonna
So
see. We're gonna give
she
her a
comes
chance.
sneaking out
silently.
Sneak silently is plus
And
17. That's
yeah.
a pretty heroic sneak.
we're gonna
So
see. We're gonna give her a
she
chance.
comes sneaking out silently.
What did the hound roll? It wasn't that good. I think it was before that.
We're gonna see.
Snopes first.
What did the hound roll? It wasn't that good.
Snopes isn't gonna attack this thing. Snopes first. He wants her to attack it, so he's gonna kind of hit his shield and hunker down,
Snopes
and
isn't
he's
gonna
waiting
attack this thing.
for it to
Snopes
attack him,
first. He
so
wants
he
her
can
to
block
attack
it back.
so he's gonna
But
kinda
he sees
hit his
Pix, and
shield
Pix is
and
moving now.
down.
And
he's
that was
waiting
it. She moves
for it to
silently.
attack him.
She's going to
Block it
attempt.
back, so
She's gonna
he's
run
he
and
sees
jump.
Pix,
Pix
and
is moving now,
down. She goes around. She moves silently. Yeah, she's got to move around from the boss. So she is successfully sneaking up to this thing. She's going to do a backstab. Megal, so she is successfully sneaking up to this thing. Megal's going to attempt to cast color spray again. She's going to shoot a rainbow at this MFer. Megal's going to attempt to cast color spray. She's going to shoot the demonic voice comes ripping out of her. And the rainbow comes shooting out. Ripping out.
She rolled a 16. She gets +2.
The rainbow comes shooting out.
19. It's got to make a 16. She gets +2 will saves.
Rainbow comes shooting out.
19.
Oh wow! It's got to make 2 will saves. Let's see how it's wills +0. She rolled an. Oh wow! 18. It's got to make 2 will saves. Let's see how 9. It's wills +0. She rolled a 15. Oh wow! 18. It's got to make 2 will saves. Let's see. 9. It's wills +0. Demon traits: gaseous form, immune to charm effects. She's not trying to charm it. She is hitting it with pure, unadulterated color. It's got 0 plus the will check. She is hitting it with pure, unadulterated color.
Oh, how's this thing manifest? Let's play this out now. Now that's actually happening. 5. Manifest. Let's
Cloud. All right. So she steps forward, and the demon voice rips out of her, and in fact, it rips so hard that she can't talk for another 3 rounds. Steps forward, ripping out of her voice while she speaks the words of power, and she puts out her hands, and this cloud of rainbow smoke comes rolling out and engulfs the hound. This cloud of rainbow smoke comes rolling out, and it screams, and the hound flies back, and then kind of shakes its head and falls down. And unconscious, screams, and that's when Pick strikes back, and then she comes screaming, shakes its head, and falls down with the spear. And that's when Pick strikes. Yeah, she comes screaming. We're gonna falls down with the spear.
This thing's prone.
And that's when Pick strikes. Yeah, she comes screaming.
So she gets +1 helpless. There we go. She gets +1 down. She should be. So she gets +1 rolling. She gets +1 1d24. 22. Holy crap. 1d24. 22. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So she hits 22 with the backstab. It's +1. But 22. Jeez. Okay. Yeah. So she hits 22 with the spear backstab. It's +1. But 22. Jeez. Okay. Oh. Yeah. So she hits. A spear does. If you're wondering at home, 1d8 points of damage. +1 because it's magic. A spear does. If you're wondering at home, 1d8 doing 4 points of damage. +1 because it's magic. A spear does. If you're wondering, 1's doing 4 points of damage. +1 magic. A spear does. All right, 4 points of damage. And now it's pinned to the ground. She shoved it. And she's pinning it to the ground. It is. And now it's pinned to the ground. She shoved it. And she's pinning it to the ground. Targets that fail both saves for color spray are blinded and knocked unconscious. Duration is 2d4 +1 rounds. Targets that fail both saves for color spray are blinded and knocked unconscious. 6, 7 rounds. Duration is 2d4 +1 rounds. Targets that fail both saves for color spray are blinded. But I'm gonna give him 6, 7 rounds. A chance to wake up because he just got stabbed and stuck with a spear, a magic spear. We're gonna give him another will save check because he just got stabbed. See if he or it wakes up. It is gonna wake up, but it's not gonna act yet. The noobs. It is gonna wake up, but it's not gonna act yet. Now that it's a fair game, they're gonna come rushing in to attack this thing while it's down. Now that it's Morgan, they're gonna come the butcher with their cleaver, rushing in to attack this thing while it's down. This thing's AC. Morgan, they're gonna come the butcher with their cleaver. Barely misses this thing. Herbo misses. Jarrah, the healer, barely misses. They come in, they're trying to hit it with a club and a dagger, and it
cleaver, and it's waking up, and it's fighting the spear.
Trying to hit it with the club, and
Snope steps in with his
cleaver,
with Ultimac.
and it's fighting the spear
and
and hit it with the club, and
Snope steps in
dagger
with his
and
fumbles.
and it's fighting the
I think
spear
he's
and
a
hit it
D8
with
on
the
the fumble chart.
Snope steps in with his
3. Your weapon comes loose in your hand. You quickly grab it, but your grip is disrupted. You take a -2 penalty on your next attack. 3. Your weapon comes loose in your hand. You quickly
So
grab it, but your grip
Snope steps up. He's gonna do it, and it looks up at him. A lot more awake than he was hoping because of the with the spell thing. And it looks right into his soul. And he loses his grip on his weapon just a little bit with the spell thing. Pix. Now, this thing is trying to fight its way up. She's got to make a strength check. Now, this thing is trying to fight its way up. She's got to make a strength check. Now, yep. So her action is just trying to attempt to keep it pinned to the ground. The hound is going to roll black. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way. Trying to attempt to keep it pinned to the ground. She is black. Hound is going to roll black. Actually, I'm going to do it the other way. Sure. Look at that. She not only holds him to the ground, she crit while doing it. That's awesome. Megal, not only holds him to the ground, she crit while doing it. Megal's going to calmly draw her longbow. Well, no, she had it drawn. She had put it down and did one hand of the color spray. She notches an arrow. She lets loose. She carefully aims. She put it down and did one hand of the color spray. She notches an arrow. She lets loose. She carefully aims. +2, huh? 13. And it flies right past it, and the arrow sinks into the black inky pool. +2, huh? 13. Flies right past it, and the arrow sinks into the black inky pool. Yes. Flies right past it, and the arrow the hound pinned to the ground is still able to move around enough to where it takes a bite at the hound Snope. Pinned to the ground is still able to move around enough, gnashing its teeth at his boots. The noobs all come in, gnashing its teeth at his boots. Morgan misses. The noobs, Herbo misses. Jarek, gnashing its teeth at his Jarek with his club. He comes in at the right minute. They each take 2 turns running in. He Jarek crits with his club. I think clerics comes in at the right minute. They each take 2 turns running in. So we'll go 1d4. Jarek crits with his club. Force of blow shivers your weapon free of your grasp. Inflict plus 1d6 damage with a strike, and you are disarmed. Force of blow shivers your weapon. So he is going to be doing inflict plus 1d6 damage with a strike, and you are disarmed. Force of blow shivers your weapon. So he 10 points of damage. Hello, nurse. All right. 10 points of damage. Hello, nurse. So Jerk runs in, hits it so hard with the club that the club jerks out of his hand and he loses it. But the hound Jerk runs in, hits it so hard with the club crunch, the club and it howls, jerks out of his hand and he loses it. But the hound reverberates around the cave in a howls super creepy way. But the hound reverberates around the cave. Back to Snope in a howls super creepy way. Snope, by the way, back to Snope. Super creepy way. Snope. This would have gone a lot better if I'd remembered this. Well, this is what's going to happen. In case you're wondering at home, I just realized one of those hunters fell off his horse because he was blinded by the first time that Megal casted color spray. He was still on the ground. One of those hunters, we're just going to say he got back up on the horse because he was only blinded for a couple rounds, actually. No, I think about it. He got back on his horse. He's going to say he got back just in case you're wondering what happened to that guy. He was only blinded for a couple rounds, Snope. Actually. No, I think about it. He got back on his horse. Snope's going to attempt to swing Ultimac again at the hound. He takes a -2 to his roll. Snope's going to attempt to swing. He's going to try to decapitate this thing. The hound. He takes a -2 to his roll. Oh, he rolls a 10, which is not enough to hit this thing. -2 is 8. Yeah. So he swings Ultimac, bites into the dirt,
in front of the thing. So picks.
So
It's got to make
swings
another
Ultimac, bites into
roll
the dirt.
to keep it because it's struggling even harder now. The thing. So picks.
So
He's got to make
swings
another
Ultimac, bites into
black
the dirt.
to keep it because it's struggling even.
What
the? Do you see this? So she is the boss. This thing is not moving. She pins it even down even further. And it's she is the boss. Meggle
Thing is not moving.
notches another arrow.
Pins it even down even further.
Shoots.
Meggle
And misses. Notches another arrow.
pins it even down even further.
The hound attempts to bite Jarrah as he's reaching for his club.
Bite.
And totally misses. It's in too much pain.
Jarrah.
The noobs
As he's reaching for his club. Bite.
and totally misses. It's in too much pain.
Jarrah.
The noobs. Morgan attempts to attack it with her butcher knife. She misses.
Totally misses. It's in too much pain.
Herbo attempts.
Jarrah. The noobs.
He misses as well with his dagger.
With her butcher knife. She misses.
These guys can't hit nothing.
Herbo attempts.
He misses as well with his dagger. Yells, "Move!" And everybody backs off. Back off! Everybody backs off. Just enough time to give him a second. He stares at this thing. Everybody's sitting there, pinned to the ground. Pix is holding it. Pix is starting to glow, by the way. She's starting to sweat, which means light's starting to erupt out of her. Pix is starting to glow, by the way. Snope swings Ultimac in an execution style. He's going to execute this thing. We're going to do the D die.
Snope swings
He's going to execute it. We're going to roll another execution style. He's going to execute this thing. We're going to do the D die.
Snope swings
He's going to
Ultimac.
execute it. We're going to roll another execution style. There we go. 20. 1d10 plus 2. 11 points of damage.
20.
He says, move back. Morgan and Herbo. Jarrett grabs his club, all shaky because he almost got bit by it while grabbing the club. They back off. Snope stares this thing in the eyes and then swings Ultimac in a way to take off its head and just thumps right through its throat. The head lops off. Plump, swings Ultimac and they stare at it. They're the spear. And you can swear the spear starts glowing a little bit. And then the body starts like vibrating. And you can swear the spear almost like it wants to change, but it's not. And then there's a struggle between the two auras of the spear and the hound. And then finally, the flesh gives up. The spear just goes flops. And then just kind of caves in on itself. But it doesn't dissolve. It just kind of caves in itself, and a smell comes up that's just horrifying. But it's rotted and incredibly old. And Pix looks at Snope, and Snope gives a nod, and she lets up the spear. But it just kind of incredibly old. No gas, nothing. It's dead. Snope gives a nod, and she lets up the spear. Meggle says, "It's dead. No gas, nothing. Snope, it's dead." Herbo, Jarek, and Morgan all start cheering. Snope gives a little smile. But Herbo, Jarek, and Morgan, he's just glad it's over. Snope gives a little smile. He Herbo, Jarek, he doesn't realize it. Well, it's not that he doesn't realize it, but something seems a little different. He doesn't realize it with his when he picks up Ultimac, his war axe, his battle axe, and the blood on the side of it when he picks up Ultimac seems to run back up it. And then back down it in a very odd way, and he shakes his head and he looks at it again, and it goes back to being normal. It's flowing down. Like it was started flowing up, and now it's flowing down. And he looks down at his hands at the and something feels different to it. It feels like it feels dirty to him or something. He's not quite sure. He shakes it off because it feels like it's just his nerves. It's just been a long couple days. So he puts it back. Between you and I, his killing blow permanently enchanted his weapon. Between you and I,
his oh, I read that wrong. This is cool. So the way I read it was that it was becoming a chaos weapon, but it's not. It's actually, it gets +1. Oh, I read that wrong. This is cool. It's good. So the way I read it was his. Okay, so let's back up. He looks at it and it feels like the blood is just kind of falls off unnaturally, like it just kind of he looks at it, doesn't stick, just kind of flowing off. And he shakes his head and it looks as clean as it was before, and now it feels warm. Doesn't stick. He doesn't know about it, but something. This is awesome. So Ultimac is now a +1, +2 versus Chaos, which is pretty much everything. So Ultimac is now +1. They walk out of this cave, this sinkhole. Well, they climb out of this sinkhole. Snope's got this cave. They walk out of this cave, this sinkhole. Well, he made out like a bandit in his last 2 adventures. This guy's awesome. So he's got this cave, bear pelt cape. He made out like a bandit. He's got a helm, looks like a dragon. Awesome. So he's got this cave. He's got a battle axe that's now enchanted, and he's got this mirrored shield. Helm, looks like a dragon. That can shoot lasers back at you if you happen to run into any laser harpies. Back at can shoot them back at the source. They get back into town, and they brought the head. It's kind of decomposed and rotting and super gross, but they bring it with them because they know they're going to need it. And in the middle of the middle of the village again, the village square, they tell everybody what happened. The middle of the village again, the village square. We're gonna leave it there. I think, yeah, we're gonna leave it there. Because whatever happens next is gonna lead into the next adventure. But I will say that we now have 3 new people because this whole adventure opened up something in these guys. And we now have not only has Morgan wanted to get out of the town period, quite essential. Like, not only they need to see the bigger world, wanted to get out person. Herbo and Jarek have kind of felt the same way, and now they've experienced some stuff. They're going to level up to level 1. So when we come back next week, these guys will all be classes. Now they've experienced some stuff. They're going to level up. Morgan, the butcher girl. We come back next week. Like, we know Jarek the healer is probably going to be our cleric. We need a cleric anyway. But what do you think Morgan, the butcher, like the innkeeper's daughter, should be? She's not very agile. She's not very. She doesn't have much stamina. But she's decent luck. She's not very decent strength. So she could be. She doesn't strike me as a thief. She's lawful. She might end up being a wizard. Decent strength. So she could be. She doesn't strike me as a thief. Well, her personality is not bad. She's got a 14 personality. She could be a cleric too. We could have 2 clerics. I mean, that's not too insane. Personality is not bad. She's got a 14 at all. She could be a clerik too. Actually, that might work. We'll see. That's something that might happen. And then Herbo, the merchant, he's pretty strong. He's got really good stats, actually. We'll see. Herbo's got the 18 intelligence. Herbo, the merchant, he's pretty strong. That's my man. Herbo's gonna be wizard faux life. Herbo's got the 18. Looks like we might have 2 clerics on wizard. We'll see. We'll see. You never know what's gonna happen here. Herbo's got the 18. Looks like we might have 2. Yes, thank you. So that was the finish, the climax of Doom of the Savage Kings. The Doom being the thank you. So that was the demon dog that's terrorizing the village. The Doom being the thank you. So that was the yet another really cool adventure from Harley Stroh. If you want to check it out, you can get it at goodmangames.com as a PDF too, or DriveThruRPG. Thanks for joining me. I have a great time doing this stuff. I'm looking forward to where these guys are going to go next week. Thanks for joining. I have no idea. I'm going to find us another official DCC adventure and weave that into the story, so you get kind of a sneak preview of these. All these adventures I do are all official adventures of DCC. I want to say that right away, so that all the adventures I do are all official adventures. I'm doing this so you can check it out, check out the system, check out the adventures. I don't do every bit of an adventure. I just do whatever I feel is right for the story I'm telling at the time. So there's other parts, there's other parts of this adventure that we just didn't touch on that are all very cool and be great to run with an actual part. So there's other parts, That said, I had fun. And thanks for joining me. And
actual parts.
see you next Friday. Oh, Saturdays
That said,
are Scythe.
I had fun.
If you're into the board game, I've been doing Saturdays Scythe. I've been working on trying to make the
Scythe. I had fun.
if you're into the
The
board
whole
game
thing work. I'm gonna try something a little different tomorrow, I think, with the cameras and stuff. But I'm doing the Rise of Fenris campaign for Scythe, and then I've started Bard's Tale, the original remastered Bard's Tale. I'm still working through the kinks of how, because the last video I did wasn't that great with the original remastered Bard's Tale. Too loud of game noise and all that kind of stuff. So I know I'm selling it hard watching me do that, but the Bard's Tale thing is kind of fun, especially because there's new and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, you watching me do that, but take it easy. Viva la Dungeon is kind of fun, especially because there's new and all that kind of stuff.